Cool. Well, thank you everybody for joining us today. We are here to celebrate and honor somebody who is near and dear to many of our hearts here at Buffalo Niagara Waterkeeper, one of our founders and good friend to the organization, Barry Boyer. And I am going to just kind of do some formal presentation here, so bear with me. So each year, a member of the community is identified as the recipient of the Mike Hamilton Award. And these candidates are people who the board and the staff believe are dedicated to the protection, preservation, and restoration of our waterways, and who through their life and action gives voice to the waters of the region. And this year, the Mike Hamilton Award is being dedicated to Barry Boyer. Yay! So Barry,
Cheers.
thank you so much for your life's work and dedication to the mission of clean and accessible waterways. Not only do we owe our organization's very existence to your vision and hard work, but you continue to volunteer your time and expertise through various efforts. You are a mentor, an ambassador, a scholar, a supporter, and an activist. And you have dedicated much of your life to protecting the Great Lakes and their tributaries, improving our region's environment, and serving in advisory positions and supporting others in their efforts to implement this vision as well. So your impact, Barry, is going to last generations, and we honor you today in your life's work with our highest honor, and that is in memory of Mike Hamilton. So congratulations to you, Barry. This is well deserved, and thank you so much for all you've done for our community. So, yay.
Well, thank you all. Awards are always nice to get, but this one I think is especially nice in two ways. One is because it's named for Mike, who was really the embodiment of public service. He was kind, he was modest, he was hardworking, and he was always there. He showed up for everything. He even sat through all the sessions that we did on the power project relicensing, which was really like going to the dentist every day. And also because Riverkeeper, Waterkeeper has become such a successful organization. I've said a few times, maybe to some of you, that watching this organization grow and prosper is sort of like watching one of your kids grow up and really do stuff you didn't think they could do. Because when we started this, we had no idea. All we knew was that there was a need, that government could do some things, but we had to try to do the rest. And one of the examples of that in the remedial action plan was planning for land use along the river shore, pointing out what needed to be done and what kinds of things could be done to make it possible. And DEC understandably said, we can't do that. We don't have any power over land use, and we're going to get ourselves in very deep water if we try to go there. But we'll let you guys try it. So we picked it up and we wrote a chapter on it, and it wasn't very good, and we rewrote it. Got some help from the city of Buffalo on that, and eventually came up with, I think, a good model for working together, and that is what had come before that in the 70s mostly and into the 80s was citizen groups demanding that government do something and being confrontational about it where necessary. And that wasn't going to work anymore because they had some competencies, we had some competencies, and if we could join those, we could get something done. So we had to be willing to step in and do things that ideally governments might be able to do, but we had to get the ball rolling. And I think that's a good kind of a lesson. Also, that we viewed the Friends organization as a community group, not a single purpose environmental group. That the economy of Buffalo was in the sewer at that point. It was really hopelessly, the recession of the 80s had killed the few remnants of the heavy industry that had sustained this area for decades. And there was just nothing that could be done about that, except go forward and try to find some new way to do it. And to do that, we had to change minds. ideas are powerful, but they take a long, long time to mature and be accepted. And so we just started agitating. We were following a model that Linda had written about under the rubric of placemaking. And that's a pretty good description for what we were trying to do. You know, we had a place that was an ultimately trashed river. And the communities along that river were all trashed as well. And so there had to be some kind of a rebuilding going on. And if it had some inspiration of sustainability and community, not just human community, but harmony between human and natural communities, then something good could happen for the region, for the environment. And that's what it played out. I mean, it took a lot of stubbornness. There were years and years when nothing much was happening. We'd have these little meetings of 2, 3, a half dozen people and get small grants. And Margaret and others, Linda, were off doing plans, working it into our classes and our work at the university in various ways. And it just eventually the water wears the rock down. And we just kept flowing in the direction that we thought was appropriate, and eventually it happened.